This thing is so janky. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I made it back. I didn't fall asleep. Right? In fact, I'm wide awake. I took a little nap and I'm rejuvenated. And I'm ready. I am ready because I am upset. I'm upset. These dog nuts, they have such a massive head start that I'm upset. Okay, I know it's not my fault, but I'm very disappointed at the advantage that these lunatics have. Welcome. We have Chef Gling, ABQ in the house, Ashar, Sibby, J Red. Yes, Our Lady Hazel. Welcome. Now I'm gonna go right back into dealing with these church lunatics, and I want to deal with this dog worship. People, this dog worship is so real. I did a little research into the Lutheran Church Charities Comfort Dogs, and it was not good. You know, I thought about actually contacting these people, but I think not. No, you can't reason with people like this. And really, you can't reason with the CDC. The CDC does all it can to protect dogs. We are in a whole lot of trouble here dealing with these dog nuts, and they are in like every branch of society. This is crazy. As we all know, we have a dog nut as president. But this idea to send comfort dogs, or send dogs, these things are not trained to do anything but stand there and look stupid. They literally don't do nothing. They come around because people bring them around. The stupid mutts do not make an independent decision to go visit these particular people because the dogs are aware that they need comfort or that they have experienced a traumatic event. Nothing like that. The stupid mutts come around because stupid dog nuts bring them around. And when they bring them around, the stupid mutts do absolutely nothing but stand there. Okay, I want to hammer that point home, you dog nuts. Or it's projecting this idea that these dogs are angelic beings that actually perform some type of task. No, they don't. Just because you put a little stupid vest around them and sassay them around different institutions doesn't mean that they do anything. Let's cut that out. Now, first of all, these people need to understand that these dogs are nasty. Okay? These are nasty vermin. And we should not expose anyone, especially people in hospitals, especially in this COVID era. This is not the era. It's never a good era. But this is the worst type of era for you to push these nasty mutants onto people. Literally, they bring these comfort dogs around people who are wearing masks. Okay? Now, I don't even want to show that yet. I don't want to show this yet. People, there is some horrible, horrible images. I'm going to get to them. Some horrible images from the website of this Lutheran Comfort Church dog organization. This is some sick business. Now, I shared that article. Well, first of all, here, let me switch screens here so I can share the actual article with you here. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, okay, what is this? Okay. We do it like this. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Capture. Many of you remember this article. Okay? Let me do this. All right, shout out to Beanie Girl in the super chat. Y'all remember this? Therapy dogs were spreading a superbug to sick kids. And then look at what they wrote here. Here's how the doctors stopped it. And that's a lie. That is a lie. They did not stop it, as they admitted in the actual article. Okay? So these idiots were bringing dogs into the hospital, and they found out that these mutts were transmitting this type of staph infection that was resistant to antibiotics. It was so pronounced that the doctors discovered that kids who spend more time with dogs had a 6 times greater chance of coming away with this superbug than kids who spent less time with dogs. In other words, for example, you have 4 dogs. In this experiment, there were 4 therapy mutts. You have 4 dogs that visit 10 patients. With the patients, when those 10 patients spent more time with the dogs, 6 of those patients would have this superbug. When they would spend less time, only 1 would have the superbug. But people, imagine the comparison if they spent no time with the dog at all. Right? You would likely have 0 cases of this superbug. They claim that it was originally came from a person. This thing is zoonotic. It originates with animals. So they found, based on their own confession, that the dogs were the source of this superbug. Okay? And in response, right? Remember, they said the doctors stopped it. Here's how the heroes cleaned up these nasty, disgusting, gutter originating mutants. They used a special shampoo and they wiped the mutt down with sanitation wipes every 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it says it right here. Dogs patted down every 5 to 10 minutes with disinfecting wipes. But you see what this says right here. It says those steps dramatically decreased the bacteria levels on the dog. Didn't say it eliminated it. Dramatically decreased means the dog is still riddled with bacteria. You got to watch out for these little slick code words and the way they put words and sentences together. Because if it turns out that somebody was infected or a bunch of people was infected, they can then turn around and say, well, we didn't say it eliminated it. We actually said in the report that it decreased the bacteria. We didn't say eliminated it. That's first of all. And I'm directing this toward this nasty Lutheran church comfort mutt organization. These things are nasty. And not all people are dog people. And you are out of order pushing dogs on everybody without their consent, without a care in the world if they are tolerant towards these disgusting, disease-ridden, nasty, invasive, slobbering mutants. These people need to understand that there are people out here in the world who are not going to play games with them. You're not going to be able to bring a stupid, goofy-looking mutt in front of them and coach them to start rubbing on this thing with some mantra talking about, oh, well, they reduce blood pressure. Studies have shown that they reduce anxiety. You better start bringing these people a cup of tea. You want to reduce anxiety and stress, right? You have chamomile tea. You have lavender. You have a whole host of teas. As a matter of fact, I got a list I'm going to show later on in this stream. You better teach them some yoga. At the very least, you want to bring animals. You're so crazy about animals, you better bring some other animals, some harmless, cleaner animals. But you won't do that because it's all about pushing dogs. That's what it's all about. Now, I looked up the website of these people. They have a website. Here's the website. And I scrolled down and I noticed that they had an Instagram. And when I went to their Instagram, I have some highlights for you. I saw some disturbing images. Very disturbing images that I'm going to share with you here. And this is what I mean by literal dog worship. Somebody sent this image to me in an email immediately after I gathered these photos. It was almost as if they knew that I was creating a live stream about dog worship, right? About an inflatable Jesus. And I saw what's there? Pet Free. I forgot the channel name. I'm not even kidding. Posted this. Many of you may have seen it. And I couldn't believe it. You know, it was like fate. Inflatable Jesus. Play with him. Pray with him. He is always there for you. He will never judge you, but will always love you. Sounds like they're talking about a dog. His love is unending. It sounds like they're talking about a dog. Bring Jesus into your home. They're talking about a dog. They say, never leave him outside. Don't leave a dog outside. Bring him into your home or don't own him at all. But it's deeper than this. See, I saw this. I saw this photo after I put this slide together. And look at the images that are on the Instagram of this church comfort dog organization. These are the images. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, not only that, in many of these, they're using church quotes. Look at this. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. What? And in the caption, they wrote amen. Be still and know that I am God. Got a picture of her with this mutt. And I'm thinking to myself, like, whoa, these people are talking about this dog. Right? As if the dog is God. Why would they choose this verse if this is not the case? Now, like I said, brace yourself, because this is disturbing stuff. Some of these images. Here's another one. Again, I saw this photo after I put these together. We love because he first loved us. 1 John 4:19. And got an image of this woman hugging a mutt. This is a church. All the Bible verses, all those verses in the Bible talk about how disgusting dogs are. The Bible is clear about where it stands with dogs. And these people treating dogs like angelic beings. These images are horrendous. Now, what I want you to pay attention to here, you see this hand right here? This guy's hand? This is his forearm. This is his hand. You see his fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's bracing himself to catch the dog if it tries to snap at the baby. Okay. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Is that not what you see here? Remember, I showed another image of a guy who brought a pit bull into a school, and he let all the kids get in a single file line to pet the dog, and he literally sat on the dog and restrained it to make sure it didn't snap at any of the kids. Yeah, this is going to reduce anxiety. Oh, this is a good idea. Let's bring creatures around, babies and kids, creatures that are so dangerous, you have to brace yourself to hold them and restrain them if they decide to mutilate one of the kids. Now, maybe you think I'm going overboard. Maybe you think I'm jumping to conclusions. Maybe you think his hand is not there to restrain that mutt just in case it snaps. Okay. Well, take a look at this image. Let me expand it for you. What does it look like this man is doing here with that mutt? Does it not look like he's positioning his hands, his arms, just in case the dog snaps? He wants to be able to try his best to pry the baby out of the dog's mouth. Yes, this is insanity. This is the side of dog nuttery that nobody talks about. Only us here in these small corners of YouTube do we deal with stuff like this. Everybody else turn a blind eye to it. No, 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 no. And this is the church organization. Okay? He's bracing himself just in case. Now you're telling me that this is the best option of animal that you could possibly think of? You telling me this is a better option than a flipping rabbit? This is a better choice than a rabbit? Something that you don't have to worry about it snapping and attacking and biting the kid's head off? These people are lunatics. They're outright lunatics. I'm not being harsh or anything like that or mean-spirited by calling these people lunatics. And that's the very problem. They've not had people call them for exactly what they are. Call out their behavior for exactly what it is. This is lunacy. Look at these images. This is from that church website. Now, people, I want y'all to understand These kids have been instructed to do these things. They did not do this out of their own free will. We need to understand that. We need to understand that. Keep that close in mind. None of these kids voluntarily interacted with these mutts the way you see it in these photos. Look at the faces of these kids. Nobody gonna tell me. It is written all over these kids' faces that they are under instruction. Look at how the child is holding his hands. Look at him. This is not voluntary. Look at how they're looking at the people who's giving them instructions. Okay, now rub on the dog. There you go. Hello? That is all that's going on here. Instructing, they're trying to groom the next generation to be dog nuts. Not only is this manipulative and flat out evil, dangerous, it is disgusting. That MSRA staph infection was being transmitted in that hospital by the dog's fur. And that's exactly what these people have these kids rubbing on, the mutt's fur. Nobody's going to convince me that these kids are genuinely anxious to rub on this mutt. This is how kids look when they're being told what to do. And they don't understand why they're being told to do it. That's what you're looking at here. Look at this. Another image. Where they, now hug the doggy now. Disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. These stupid airhead quotes that they have jammed up in these photos, caption these photos with this stupidity, this goofiness. It is unbearable. It is absolutely unbearable. Now, once again, these images are all from this church's website. Once again, what do you see here? You see a man's hand wrapped around this leash so that just in case the mutt lunges at the child, he can grab it. Yeah, and you telling me this is the best option? This is the only option that they use. They only use dogs. This is dog nuttery propaganda. Has nothing to do with a desire to help people. They're hiding it behind a desire to help people. I want everybody in Waukesha, Wisconsin to understand that. Just in case there may be some crusaders or potential crusaders in Waukesha who may see this video before those worthless, stupid, goofy, disease-ridden mutts show up in your area. This is nothing but dog nuttery. On top of that, like I said, this is a flipping church. So why should we ignore the fact that you're going against your own Bible? Why should we ignore that? Your Bible says, don't give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them under your foot and attack you. Another verse said something like, you don't give what belongs to kids to dogs. Yeah, it literally said that. I might have it here. I actually copied. Oh yeah, it's here. I actually copied it. A whole bunch of verses. People, you would not believe how many anti-dog verses are in the Bible. There are more anti-dog verses than I showed in that video about anti-dog verses. Look out for the dogs. Look out for the evildoers. Look out for those who mutilate flesh. Why? They always speak about dogs in the same vein as evil, as anything that's filthy, unclean, unholy, ungodly. Proverbs 26:11. Like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. They're comparing a person who repeats the same mistake over and over to a dog that returns to lick up its own vomit. See, they want to conveniently ignore these things in their own Bible. I'm only bringing this up because it's in their Bible. Listen, I'm not trying to preach to these people. I'm not no Bible person. But this is their own book. Show you how big of hypocrites they are. There has nothing. This is dog nuts. And they will ignore any and everything negative about dogs, even if it comes from their own Bible, because they worship dogs. They don't worship Jesus or God or none of that. They worship dogs. Outside are the dogs and the sorcerers and the sexually immoral. See, once again, they always mention dogs in the same vein as negative. Anything and everything negative. Sexually immoral and murderers, idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. Man, Exodus 22:31. You shall be consecrated to me. Therefore you shall not eat any flesh torn by the beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. Again, because the dogs are filthy, nasty. They'll eat anything. In the Bible, it says this. Dogs have a mighty appetite. They never have enough. Even the Bible points out that dogs are full of parasites that eat all the nutrients and food that the dog eats, so the dog has a never-ending appetite. Even the Bible knows this. Unbelievable. And the Philistine said to David, am I a dog that you come to me with sticks? In other words, you should only bring sticks to beat dogs, not a human. The Bible goes in on dogs. Why are you so easily ignoring this? Are you church dog people? What is this all about? What do you think you are? Who do you think you are? To ignore what your Bible says about these mutants that you're hauling around the country and forcing on the people. And Hazel said, what is your servant, who is but a dog, that he should do this great thing? Right? Compare a dog to a servant, a dog to a slave. But he who joined with all the living has hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. I mentioned that before. In other words, they're saying that a lion is superior to a dog. A lion is superior to a dog. But it's a bad thing to be dead. And even a living dog is better than a dead lion. But a living dog is not better than a living lion. Matthew 7:27-28, and he said to her, let the children be fed. Oh, here it is. Let the children be fed first. For it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Right? Soak that in. Let the children be fed first. It's not right to take the children's food and give it to the dogs. In other words, children are more important than dogs. And it's sad that the Bible has to actually tell people this. I can't think of any other thing that the Bible could be saying. What else could this verse mean? That sounds like the only translation to me. It's basically saying, do not treat dogs as if they're your kids. Do not treat dogs the same way that you would treat your kids. Does it sound like the Bible would co-sign with viewing and treating dogs the same way you do your kids? Right? This is too easy. Because these dog nuts are so out of their mind, they make it easy for you to call it out, to point it out. Unbelievable. Now, like I said, there are many ways to reduce stress. Dog nuts. You hauling these mutts around the country, putting these ugly, goofy looking things in people's faces, telling them to rub on them, that if they rub on them, they will reduce their stress and anxiety levels. Well, I tell you what, why don't you tell them to breathe slow? Take deep breaths, because that reduces stress also. You're not going to be attacked. There's no risk of bacterial infection, MSRA, staph infection. Just breathing. Listening to music helps to reduce stress. And I bet you it's a lot more effective than having a stupid, ugly, flipping mutt up in your face. Listening to music. You don't see these organizations going around with a live band talking about helping people reduce stress. They don't use any other method but dogs, because it's all about pushing dogs on the people. Take a quick walk. Get some sun. Now, this has been thoroughly proven that sunlight will help reduce stress and depression. If you ever feel depressed, go out in the sunlight. I guarantee you feel better. I guarantee you that. Find the sun. Why don't these organizations ever bring these types of tips around? Give yourself a hand massage. There's so many ways. Look, there's 25 ways in this article alone. Do a quick Google. You can find other methods that are safe. Safe, and I mean that, you know, in the physical sense, safety hazard, physical hazard, and health wise. You don't have to worry about bugs, bacteria, and all this crap, parasites coming from no mutt. Stretches. Look, you can count backwards. That'll help reduce stress. Stretching, rub your feet over a golf ball. All right, we're humans. We have a whole lot of solutions for things. Close your eyes. Something as simple as closing your eyes can help to reduce stress. Squeeze a stress ball. And I bet you this is more effective than having a stupid, ugly, goofy looking mutt up in your face. Stinking, smelling like dog. Lord. You shouldn't have to tell people stuff like this, man. You shouldn't have to tell people stuff like this. This should be common sense. And we're only on number 11. Be alone. Get organized. Yoga. Eat chocolate. Meditate. They got cuddle with a pet. I'm not even going to read it. Chew gum. Sip green tea. And there are many different types of teas. Laugh. Cold water on your wrists. Okay? Look at this. The 25 best teas for anxiety. Peppermint. Now I drink peppermint. I got peppermint here right now in the kitchen. Chamomile. Lavender. I drink all of these. Ginger, all of these. Valerian root. I have the capsules. I have valerian root extract. Kava. Go-to cola. Look at it. Passion flower. And they work. Many of them will put you to sleep. Lavender, passion flower, valerian root, and chamomile is so relaxing, it will put you to sleep. Nobody is feeling relaxed and sleepy when a mutt is up in your face. Stop it. Stop it, dog nuts. Stop it. Dogs are the least effective at reducing stress and anxiety. You all know this. You all know this, and you're playing dumb. That's what's going on here. So now, I also want to point out how the CDC, and this is why I don't get carried away with quoting things from the CDC, because even these government organizations, they're full of dog nuts. They're full of dog nuts. They're full of people who will hide the truth or conceal the truth if the truth speaks negatively about dogs. Right? I've always known this. Let me share my screen here. So I went on to the CDC website. And this made me upset. And I want to share it with you. Look at this. When you're talking about zoonotic diseases, we have to take this very serious. In this COVID era, we have to take this very serious. Because we just don't know exactly how these different viruses are spreading. You have different types, different strands, you have different variants coming out. They're always mutating. We have to be very careful in these times. And we don't need organizations like the CDC hiding things from us. So there's a piece on their website titled 8 Zoonotic Diseases Shared Between Animals and People of Most Concern in the United States. First ever CDC USADA DOI collaborative report. Okay, whatever. Look at what it says here. Every year, tens of thousands of Americans get sick from diseases spread between animals and people. People, again, substitute the word animals for the word dogs. That's what they mean. That is what they mean. Dogs and people. CDC's One Health Office is collaborating with DOI, USADA, USDA, and other partners across the government to bring together disease detectives, laboratorians, physicians, veterinarians to prevent those illnesses and protect the health of people, animals, our environment. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of babble. And that's what I want to point out. All the babbling that the CDC does rather than getting right to the point and telling people, get rid of these dogs. Stop licking on dogs. Trading bodily fluids with them. Let them live in your house. Stop treating them like humans. Flat out, it should be that simple. That is what an organization like the CDC should be telling people. The zoonotic disease of most concern in the United States, they have a list. People, I want to draw your attention to this right here. What does that say? Again, this is a list. The zoonotic diseases of most concern in the U.S. are what? And these, they are talking about the diseases that spread from what? Between dogs and people. I'm saying dogs because people have the most and closest interactions are with dogs. Cats are not only more independent and more off to themselves, they're cleaner than dogs. As all animals are cleaner than dogs. It says emerging coronaviruses. Aren't they talking about emerging coronaviruses right now? This is serious. As I pointed out before, it said 6 out of 10 infectious diseases are zoonotic. What makes it, here's the babble. Here's where all the babbling comes in with CDC. And an organization like this should not be babbling. And they should not be giving a non-solution to the public. And that's all this is. 6 out of every 10 infectious diseases in people are zoonotic, which makes it crucial that the nation strengthen its capabilities to prevent and respond to these diseases using, it keeps talking about this, One Health approach. One Health is an approach that recognizes the connection between people, animals, plants, and their shared environment, and calls for experts in human, animal, and environmental health to work together to achieve the best health outcome. This is babble. This is stupid babble. This workshop was the first time a multiple government agency in the United States worked together on the topic, and it's a critical step towards a coordinated U.S.-specific approach to One Health. The workshop report outlines the process, the resulting list of prioritized zoonotic diseases, and blah, blah, blah. This report is a new research for organized blah, 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 blah. Now, this is a link right here. This is One Health. This is what they're talking about. This is their response to zoonotic diseases being transmitted from animals to humans. One Health, One Health. They keep talking about this One Health. Click this link, and here's what you see on this One Health website. Now, first of all, before you run into that, look, let me show you something. Soon as you click the link, this is what you see. Do y'all see what's going on here? The first images that they show you is images of humans with animals that humans have the least connection with, have the least physical interaction with. The everyday American is not running around feeling and exchanging bodily fluids with no cows. What is this? They did not want to put a flipping dog right there. This One Health nonsense is coming from the CDC. And they're going to show an Indian man with a couple cows, as if this is the primary way that diseases come from animals to humans. You scroll down, you see a Indian girl with, what is this, some kind of donkey? This thing should have been full of dogs. The true source of the diseases transmitted from animals to humans. The everyday American don't have no cow inside their home. Not licking and kissing on no flipping cow. That's the message they're sending out. They want you to think of other animals. When you think of zoonotic diseases, they want you to think of other animals, animals other than dogs. So when you do further research into this stupid One Health, this is really crazy. This is what you find, right? Here, this CDC is terrible. They're terrible with this. One Health is a collaborative, multi-sectorial, and transdisciplinary approach working at the local, regional, national, and global levels with the goal of achieving optimal health outcomes, recognizing the interconnection between people. Shut up. Just tell the people to stop living with and having intercourse with, licking on, kissing on dogs. What is One Health? Well, One Health is an approach that recognizes that the health of people is closely connected to the health of animals and our shared environment. One Health is not new, but has become, oh, blah, blah, blah. Look, human populations are growing and expanding into new geographical areas. As a result, more people, blah, blah, blah. The earth has experienced changes in blah, blah, blah. The movement of people, animal, blah, blah, blah. This is a bunch of babble, people. Okay, it looked like they're trying to get to the point. You see this topic? How does One Health approach work? Okay, also when I saw this, I'm like, okay, finally, I get a clear explanation on this bright idea of theirs, the CDC. How does it work? One Health is gaining recognition in the United States and globally as an effective way to fight health issues at the human-animal environment interface, including zoonotic diseases. CDC uses One Health approach by blah, 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 blah. Multiple discipline sectors monitor blah, blah, blah. Successful public health interventions require the cooperation of human, animal, and environmental health partners, professionals in human health, doctors, nurses, public health practitioners, epidemiologists, right? Epidemiologists, whatever. You want to get, they're saying they want to get doctors, nurses, public health practitioners. Let me find out what this is, because I don't like talking ignorant. What is it? A public health worker who investigates patterns and causes of diseases. Okay. Okay. Epidemiologists. Whatever. They want these people, doctors, and they want them to work with veterinarians and animal workers, agricultural workers. And they want them to work with what, ecologists and wildlife experts and other areas of expertise. Need to communicate. This is how it works. By getting all of these health or professionals together to communicate. Okay, so what's the solution? That doesn't tell me anything. It sounds good. Okay, you want to get doctors to work with veterinarians and doctors and veterinarians to work with ecologists. Okay, that sounds good. But how does it work? What have they accomplished so far? They don't tell you. They continue. Other relevant players in a One Health approach could include law enforcement, policymakers, agriculture, communities, and even pet owners. No one person, organization, or sector can address issues at the animal-human environment interface alone. By promoting collaboration across all sectors, a One Health approach can achieve the best health outcomes for blah, 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 blah. How dare you, as the CDC, speak such gibberish? How dare you type so much of nothing, of literal nothing, simply to make people believe that you're actually trying? They're not trying. This is nothing but babble. This is nothing but them protecting dogs. If they were truly concerned about the health of this country, they would tell them, get these flipping dogs out of your house right now. They would not waste your time with all of this babble. This was hard for me to even read. This was literally difficult for me to read, not just here live, but when I was alone reading this thing, as I researched it. This gave me a headache. I'm sitting here trying to make sense out of it. Like, okay, what are they saying? Like, I still don't understand how this thing works. And that's the whole point. It's not supposed to make sense. It's just supposed to be a bunch of fancy words, a bunch of stuff put together to sound good, but to not really give any solutions to the problems. It does not explain how to put an end to diseases coming from animals to humans, because the primary transmitter of diseases is from dogs. It is from dogs. Listen, dogs are the only animals that are as disease-ridden and filthy as they are. I don't care what. Listen, no cats, no gerbils, hamsters, none of those animals are as ridden with parasites, germs, bacteria as dogs. None of them. Nobody's going to convince me. And cats are more independent. They're not as willing to be all around you all the time. Dogs are nastier. They sleep with people. They're more likely to be in people's beds. They make it a point to lick all over you. These things are just filthy nasty. They're inside the home of some 65% of American households. If diseases are being transmitted from animals to humans, it has to be primarily from dogs. You're not going to convince me most of them are coming from pigs. You don't find pigs in 65% of people's homes. You're not going to convince me that they're primarily coming from any other animal other than dogs. And the CDC says nothing about dogs, people. The CDC is here to protect dogs. So whenever you read anything that they publish, look, you see right here. What do you see right here? See a child with a dog with a bully breed. And this is a One Health ad. You see that? Let me see if I can blow this up. No, I can't. This is a One Health ad. So these dog nuts are in every area of government. They're in the White House, right? We got one as president. They're all over the CDC. We can't even depend on them. And this is a big point. We really cannot totally depend on them. The only people we can depend on is ourselves. We got to conduct our own independent research. We got to look at the information from various sources. And we got to do our own independent research as best we can. As best we can, because these people are not going to give us the truth. If the truth is for you to stay away from dogs, you're not going to hear it. As simple as that. You're not. Don't y'all think it is very suspect that no media outlet has suggested to people to stay away from dogs? At no point during this pandemic have they said, look, it's the dogs. Stay away from the dogs. No. No. It's because they're protecting these dogs. How could nobody have pointed at dogs as a suspect, as a possible transmitter of these viruses that are going around, as a source of the variant or the multiple variants that are coming out? Remember, as they point out here, zoonotic diseases of most concern include emerging coronaviruses. Again, the Black Death, that was a respiratory infection, just like the coronavirus. And those people back during that time started to kill dogs. I'm not suggesting to people to go out and kill dogs, let me be clear. But that's what they did back then. They started killing dogs. Okay? How could dogs not be a suspect? And the dog nuttery on these people's Instagram, people, this is the Instagram of that Lutheran church. Look at this. If this ain't dog worship, I don't know what is. As bad as the Bible talks about dogs, to see these people project dogs the way that they do is laughable. And it makes the church, Christianity, look bad. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. And other Christians need to speak out against nonsense like this. They need to be the first ones on the front line putting these people in check. And once again, they have a Bible verse right here. What does it say? The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your favor. Okay. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. They're talking about dogs. They're talking about the steadfast love of dogs never ceases. That's all they're talking about. That is all they are talking about. These people worship dogs. It's really that simple. And all through this, another Bible verse after Bible verse after Bible. For everything there is a reason, and a time for every matter under heaven. This is weirdness on steroids, 100%. And as you can see, as I've been saying over and over, these stupid mutts, they do nothing but stand there and look stupid. Looking at people, expecting food. That's it. They've been trained to do nothing but sit there to get food. That's all they do. When the dog sits, it gets a treat during training. If it stands up, gets up, no treat. Sit back down. Treat. They do this thousands of times. And what do you see here? Exactly what dog behaviorists tell you not to do. Do not hug dogs. And do not leave kids alone with dogs. And they flaunt their arrogance, their willingness to sacrifice by uploading photos like this. Their own experts. We can't even hold these people up to the standards of their own veterinarians, who clearly say never hug dogs and never leave kids alone with dogs. And this is a church. Ain't nothing cute about this. They wrote, here's your daily dose of cuteness. Ain't nothing cute about this. This is dangerous. This is sick. It's a sacrifice. That's what this is. At any moment, that mutt could just mutilate this child. There is so much lunacy on this website. This is one of the most disturbing websites. But you know, there's Instagrams like this all over Instagram. There's profiles like this all over Instagram that are so deranged, so weird. I mean, just so weird. Now, this child is very close to being attacked right here. This is exactly what the behaviorists tell you not to do. To not let kids do this. Be up in a dog's face. Wrap your arms around its neck. These clumsy, irresponsible lunatics, I'm telling you, they have gone too far with this. We have let this go too far. Dog worship on steroids. What in the hell? What is this? This woman acting like she hugging on Jesus. Does it not? She acting like she's hugging on her Lord and Savior. These are sick, lunatic dog worshipers. These are dog worshippers. I don't want to hear nothing about no comfort therapy mutt. This is dog worship, period. What is this? You should be ashamed to be such a weirdo. I don't care if you're old, 80, 90 years old. You're an old weirdo. Looking like she hugging on her Lord and Savior. What a bunch of flipping zombies. Unbelievable. So people, like I said, I was about to contact these lunatics. But I know better now. You can't reason with people like this. You just can't. You don't try to have an intelligent discussion with people like that's not what I'm here to do. To have no constructive dialogue with people like this. You can't. They're going to come up with everything in the book to defend dogs. Okay, so this is a map of their ministry. Okay, and they have one in Wisconsin. That's why they said that they were going to send some dogs to Waukesha, Wisconsin. I hope the people in Wisconsin, at least some people there, put these people in their place. Let them know boldly, get these things out of my face. Do not bring these things anywhere near me. Matter of fact, you don't touch me. Don't touch me. Is this the people? Yeah, this is the people. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. What are we going to do with these people? What? Oh my goodness. People are laughing. This is not funny. Y'all cut that out. Y'all cut that out. This is not funny. Why? Why? Why does this have to happen? Why do people have to be so weird? It's just not even necessary. This is not necessary. This is so uncalled for. So cringe. Why? It's like people deliberately set out to be cringe-worthy. As cringe as possible. I thought cringe moments happen naturally. They're not planned. These people, it's like they, set it up. They orchestrated. Right? They devise a plan to cringe, to cause the onlookers to cringe. Crazy, crazy stuff. So beware, people. I've used a lot of information from the CDC. They do make a lot of information public, but they hide a lot of information as well. They do a whole lot of babbling, and they babble to protect dogs. Their goal is to procrastinate, to do everything to avoid pointing at dogs as the culprit. I would not believe that if they would mention dogs at least once. Why wouldn't they? If they would at least make one suggestion, one paragraph, where they're like, look, people with dogs, you have to be the most careful because dogs are the most unclean and they're in the homes of 65% of people in this country. Your dog goes out, it eats the excrement of other animals, it rolls in the carcass, in the excrement of other animals. They Dogs seek excrement, urine of other animals. They seek it out. That's why they're always sniffing around. Dogs are a magnet for germs, viruses, bacteria, parasites. They're a magnet. They go outside looking for it so they can lick it and stick their nasty nose in it and then lick on you. If the CDC somewhere had a paragraph, an article or something where they're talking about dogs in this way, being truthful and being real, because this is real, I would not suspect that they are trying to protect dogs. But because they make no mention of it, they make it obvious. They make it obvious that they are trying to protect the image of dogs. In other words, they have no care for the public health at all. At all. Anybody who claims to have the public's health at heart and doesn't mention dogs, you are being disingenuous. You're being dishonest. You can cut people off immediately who talk like that, right? And that includes the CDC. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yes, this is some crazy, scary stuff. How many of y'all seen these videos by, who is it? Dog Bite Law. Attorney Kenneth, well, I forgot his name. Was it Kenneth Williams? Kenneth Phillips. Attorney Kenneth Phillips. Well, this is his YouTube channel. He only has 362 subscribers. I subscribed like a couple years ago. And he hasn't put any new content up on here for a long time. This was uploaded a year ago. That was his most recent video. But I like these little videos that he made. Check this out. You see that? It says the pit bull owner said, they're not vicious. They're not vicious dogs. They're really nice dogs. They're gentle. I don't know what came over them after they killed a little girl. This is what a pit bull owner said after they killed a little girl. I don't know what came over them. The pit bull owner said, that dog, he's been good forever. And thank you for killing him. As he, the pit bull owner, lay bleeding. This guy said that after being attacked by his own pit bull. And obviously the pit bull was killed by a cop. Pit bull owner said, kill him. Right on the spot. Man, you think you know them, but you don't. You don't know. After his pit bulls mauled his neighbor. Do not adopt a pit bull. I like that. I like that. I like this whole, and it's only 28 seconds long. Real short, real lucid, right to the point. Right? Makes very strong points. And then I like the way it shows the face of that demon. The face of that demon. That's exactly how we should view these ugly mutants. As the embodiment of demons. 100%. Here's another one. Wait, let me make sure. They killed the most kids. They killed the most family members. One breed killed 75% of the people who were mauled to death in 2017. And people, understand, this is only the pit bulls that were established, were found to be actual pit bulls. I don't even think this includes the mixes, the other bully breeds. Even if it does, this is a staggering statistic. And these people still say or project the idea that bully breeds, pit bulls, are no different from any other dogs. Pit bulls killed 29 Americans in 2017. That's nothing to cheer about. Once again, shows the face of these ugly demons and writes, do not adopt a pit bull. I like that. These videos should have more views. This guy should have more subscribers. This message needs to get out to more people. And, just to be clear, a lot of the dog nuts, they like to focus on this statistic that, not that many people are killed by dogs. It's only like, 30, 40, 50 people per year. But like I always point out, being killed is not the only bad thing that can happen to you. It is just as traumatic. Well, I can't say justice, but it is life-changing. It is extreme to be mutilated, man. To have chunks ripped out of your body. No, we're going to count that statistic as well. That's people who need emergency care treatment. That guy that I talked about on the most recent stream had that big gash in his arm. He's one of the people. He needed emergency care treatment. He needed reconstructive surgery. There are tens of thousands of victims like that every year. Tens of thousands every year. And like I pointed out, you got 10, 15, 20 million dog bites in 1 year. When you look at how many dogs bite over the course of 10 years, every dog in this country may very well have bitten someone. You can't just look at that statistic and say to yourself that, oh, dogs will only bite 1 or 2% of the population. No, that's just 1 year. Throughout the entire duration of these dogs' lifetime, most dogs bite someone. There are very few dog owners who can say that their dog has never bit anyone. They know that. So it's all a question of who it is that's going to be bitten and how severe it will be. Something is prevalent when 50% of all U.S. citizens are bitten by a dog before their 13th birthday. I will never stop reminding people of that statistic. That is a staggering statistic. 50% of all children are bitten by a dog before their 13th birthday. They've revealed this. You can't tell me that that is not something that's prevalent. Shout out to Sugar Plum in the super chat. So people, we have to stay on top of these people's necks. And don't feel impressed by any of them. I don't care who it is, if it's the CDC, any of these so-called healthcare professionals. We have to be willing to question and challenge the expertise of all of these people, because they're all suspected dog nuts. If you even got doctors and nurses bringing these things in the hospitals, you can't trust them. You can't trust the doctors or the nurses. Can't trust any of these people. The only doctors I trust, the only nurses I trust are the ones who would say, no, you're not bringing no dogs in here around my patients. The only ones I would trust are the doctors who would recite the information about dogs spreading diseases that we go over here on this channel. I'll trust doctors and nurses like that. We can't trust these dog nuts. I mean, when you find out that a person is a dog nut, you need to do everything you can to stay as far away from them as possible. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Oh, well. If you want to be healthy, you don't want to be disease-ridden. You don't want to be mutilated. That's what you better do. Anything less than that, you're taking an unnecessary chance. And for what? So that you won't be perceived as rude by your coworker or whoever? No, you only get one chance. Don't be like that girl who got her upper lip ripped off. It's not like you can grow a new upper lip. You know, these mutants, the way they attack and disfigure people, these dog nuts act as if the disfigurement is not a big deal. As if you can just grow a new ear, a new lip, a new body part, as if your scars will heal and will never be seen again. No, they try their best to minimize the impact, the negative impact that dogs have on human beings. We cannot allow that to happen. Can't allow it to happen. Shepherds and pit bulls, the most hostile. Yeah. All dogs bite. Yeah. And yeah, somebody said all dogs bite, even the little ones. And they've killed adults. There was a pack of small dogs that actually killed an adult. I shared reports in the past about those small dogs. They've killed infants. And if a small dog doesn't kill an infant, they can mutilate an infant. Very, very bad. All these things are dangerous. So even if the big dogs are banned sometime in the future, the small dogs are not far behind. They're going to get banned too. Because you're going to see reports popping up about them attacking people, killing people, mutilating babies, so on and so forth. Let's try this out. Oh, man. Yeah, it's sad hearing about people's interactions and with dogs. Some people are, you know, they can't avoid them. They live in someone else's house and the owner has a dog. Yeah, Rottweilers, same thing. I think Rottweilers are actually bully breeds. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken about that. But I think they're bully breeds. But when I talk about bully breeds, I'm including Rottweilers. They got the big blocky head, big powerful jaws. I'm talking about Rottweilers too. You know, I don't know why. You know, let me look that up because I'd like to know that. Because I don't know, just still don't know too much. Yeah. Rottweilers are classified as a bully breed. Okay, see, I wasn't too sure about that. I had thought I read it a while ago, but I wasn't too sure about that. But yeah. Here, let me see if I can share that here. See? Rottweilers are classified as a bully breed, just like bulldogs and pit bulls. And I believe it. Yeah. That sounds just about right. So yeah, do not let these people off the hook. We got to keep the pressure on these dog nuts. They work hard day and night to deceive. That's one of their biggest advantages over the public, is their ability to deceive people. And they are so manipulative that they will even use Bible verses from the Bible to describe dogs. They will talk about dogs in the same sense that they talk about Jesus, their religious figurehead, which is absolutely insane. Right? What I do with that thing here? Keep in mind that they say the same things about dogs that they say about Jesus. That he will never judge you, always love you. We are dealing with dog worship. I don't care what anybody says. We're dealing with dog worshipers. This is a bona fide cult. It's a bona fide cult. They have their own language. They have their own behavior. They have their own rules and regulations. You have to raise your kids a certain way in this cult. You cannot say or do certain things. You are not to keep the dogs outside. You are supposed to bring them inside. You are supposed to let them sleep in your bed, sit on your furniture. You are supposed to let them lick all over you, lick on your newborn. You have to introduce them and trust them to your newborn. In other words, you have to sacrifice your newborns to them. Right? You have to always keep your family at the mercy of the dog. You have to always give the dog the opportunity to mutilate anybody in your family, because the dog is to stay inside of the home. Okay? You are all to sacrifice yourselves for the dog. And if the dog wants your blood, it can have it. These are sick people. Worse of all, they are grooming the future generation to be dog nuts. Right? And hopefully, these same kids 5 years from now will be old enough to think for themselves. And hopefully they see this video and they say to themselves, this is true. They told us to rub on this dog. Oh my goodness. What is this? Right? And they may go on to awaken people as well. That is how progress goes. Right? And I'm confident that we are going to wake up. We're going to have a positive impact. Right? We're going to throw a monkey wrench into this nuttery. And hopefully that happens sooner than later. Right? So big shout out to all of you. Thanks for everybody who joined me tonight, who joined me earlier today. And I will be back tomorrow. I have even more to talk about as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.